Hey everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at the 511 Daily Deploy Pack, which is a really interesting 28 liter EDC / minimal travel bag. And this has a little bit of a different layout than some of the other 511 bags that we featured on the channel, like the Rush 12 and the All Hazards Prime backpack. But I think it's got a lot to offer, and it also comes in at a pretty interesting price point. And so in this video, I'm going to be talking about what it's been like to use this over the past couple of weeks. I'll show you how I've loaded it out, walk through all the features, and I'll also talk about how it compares to some of the other similar bags that are currently on the market. Before jumping into the video, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel, we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing, as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the overall aesthetic, like many of 511's other bags, the appearance here is pretty tactical. So there's a lot of webbing along the front, the sides, there's compression straps, so it's not a minimal bag by any means. Really functional, and generally I'm a fan of the tactical appearance. I just like the way it looks and the versatility that it provides with how you can set the bag up, but I know that that look is definitely not going to be for everybody, particularly if you're looking for something a little bit sleeker, more modern, simpler. But for me, I think it's a look that still works well for just kind of general traveling, walking around the city, or going into the outdoors. As far as the materials, the bag feels really solidly built. This exterior fabric is a 500D nylon that feels like it's going to hold up well to rougher usage and also provide a decent amount of weather resistance. I've had good experiences with this type of fabric over the years. With many bags, it's held up very well, and I like that it's not a super rigid fabric, so it just kind of molds around the items that are on the inside, and it also doesn't feel like it's going to add a ton of additional weight to the bag itself. And then beyond that, you just have really rugged materials throughout as far as the webbing and the buckles. These feel super robust and durable. Beyond that, you also have some very smooth and reliable YKK zippers all throughout. Continuing along the outside of the bag, I was a little bit sad to see that there's no built-in external water bottle pockets. You do have webbing all around the bag, so if you find a MOLLE compatible kind of water bottle pouch that you like, you can attach it onto the sides. Using the webbing, you have 3 rows on each side, and then you have a couple of rows along the front. So these are always nice for configuring with the many accessories that 511 has. There's also a lot of great third-party pouches and other accessories that you can combine. With webbing like this, you have just kind of the more traditional MOLLE, and then you have PALS webbing that also has hook and loop backing. So you can, customize this if you want to put some patches on. You have a little area here, and then these are always sections that I like to combine with EDC items, with carabiners. So I'll clip on my hand sanitizer, maybe a hero clip, my headphones if I don't want them inside of the bag when I'm traveling, maybe an extra pair of shoes. And 511 has a ton of EDC gear that might be good to pair with MOLLE webbing. Here I just have a couple of items that I wouldn't necessarily clip onto the outside, but 511 I've been impressed with the ecosystem of accessories that they have beyond bags. And so they sent me this really cool flashlight to test out. So it's got a nice clip that you can use to place onto your hat if you want to turn this into a headlamp. Always a nice thing to have. This is a really good size because it's not overly bulky, but it still feels like it's got a good size to give you a nice tactile feeling. It doesn't feel like it's going to get lost. I can still put it into my pocket. I like that it has a push button at the top to allow you to turn it on and off very easily. And it just is powered by one AA battery, so very easy to keep this charged on the go and have some spares. And then I like that the front's got kind of this tactical sort of styling here. So it just feels like a very rugged, durable flashlight. It's drop proof, it has some weather resistance. So all the things you would expect from a reliable EDC flashlight. Then they also have these really cool tools. This is probably something that I'm gonna have in my car and in my wife's car. It's a tool for, if you happen to get into an accident, it has this tool that pops out here that will allow you to cut your seatbelt. So always important to have at hand if you happen to get into an accident, and it's easy to open that up. It's got a clip, and then it also has a spring-loaded window breaker. So these are the types of things that you want to be able to reach easily, quickly, so I wouldn't necessarily toss it in my bag. It'd be something it'd be nice to have clipped somewhere where I can get to it quickly. And so, yeah, definitely recommend checking out some of the other accessories that 511 has. I have some of their pocket knives. And so, jumping back to the bag itself, in addition to the webbing, you have a couple of attachment points here at the top and bottom to combine with 511's gear sets. They have a lot of those types of accessories that I featured in previous videos. And then you have compression straps, 2 on each side. I was mentioning how durable these buckles feel. And then you have plenty of adjustability here. So these are gonna be great for compressing the bag down when it's not quite as full, or if you just wanna tighten everything a little bit. But they'll also allow you to hold additional items that don't fit on the inside. So if you wanna place a jacket, a tripod, it's gonna be very easy to do so. These feel very secure. And then I like that the strap management is included to just prevent this from getting a little bit too crazy looking. And then beyond the webbing at the top, you have a pretty nice carrying handle. It's a little bit on the thin side. It's not as padded or robust as some of the other handles that I've seen on similar bags, even from 511, but I like that it comes up a decent amount. It doesn't really, kind of get in the way if you don't need to use it. And then taking a look at the capacity, the bag comes in at about 28 liters, which is a really versatile kind of all-purpose size in my opinion. I was able to hold all the items that I normally like to carry with me, and there was still plenty of leftover space, so a pretty good minimal travel bag size as well. And then I like that even when the bag's a little bit more packed out, it never felt super bulky. It didn't really stick out. It maintained a fairly slim profile, which made it great for navigating crowded areas, jumping onto public transit, and carrying onto pretty much any domestic or international airline. Moving into the harness system, so far the bag has been pretty comfortable to wear. This isn't quite as robust as some of the other harnesses that I've seen from 511, particularly the All Hazards pack. That one had a really great comfortable harness system. This one is pretty good as well. The padding is just not quite as thick, but it does feel, really comfortable and soft right out of the box. On the inside, you also don't have that breathability. There's no sort of air mesh here. It's a soft material. It feels nice, but not quite as breathable. And then the straps have a good width to help prevent the bag from digging into your shoulders when it's a little bit more packed out. On the straps, you also have a couple of different areas of webbing, so you can maybe hang your sunglasses, clip on a light, additional accessories with a carabiner, and you also have an adjustable and removable sternum strap to help distribute the weight. And then taking a look at the back paneling, this has also been pretty comfortable, same type of padding to what we saw on the strap, so it's distributed all the way up and down the back, and it does offer a nice amount of comfort. Again, not as robust as some of 511's other bags, and it doesn't have the breathable mesh. You do have some elevation and a little air channel here to provide you with some airflow while you're walking around throughout the day, so it's felt pretty good in general, although it does feel like your back will start to get a little bit sweatier as you're wearing this for a longer period of time when it's loaded out. And no luggage passed through here, which might have been a nice addition. And then at the bottom, you have a couple of attachment points that will allow you to add a waist belt that wasn't included with the bag. Jumping into the organizational options, on the outside, the bag has a couple of quick access pockets. First off, you have one at the top. I'm always a big fan of these pockets as they're just very easy to reach throughout the day. I'm using these very regularly. Typically, you have a pretty good amount of space here. Pretty simple compartment, no additional internal organization or anything like that, but enough space to hold something like my Apple AirPods, as well as a charging cable for my phone. Could also use this to store some sunglasses. You do have a pretty good amount of space here. And then on the side, you have another zipper quick access pocket, which I suppose could work as a water bottle pocket if you wanted to grab it from the outside. So I do like when bags offer this type of a pocket that's a little bit taller that will allow you to fit a water bottle, an umbrella. In my case, I actually have the Evergood Civic Access Pouch half liter, which is one of my favorite new pouches. Just has some tech and EDC items that I'm grabbing pretty regularly, and it's kind of a perfect fit for this pocket. You have a little bit of leftover space at the top, so definitely could see myself using this to store my 20-ounce water bottle. It will probably start to kind of butt up against some of the stuff that I have in the main compartment, but that's one of the nice things about having the zipper is that you can use it for lots of different stuff versus a more traditional water bottle pocket. It also has the little rain flap that comes over to give you a little bit more protection. And then moving into the main compartment, this does have kind of a suitcase style opening, but you can use it as a top loader. If you have the zipper pulls at the top, you just open it up, reach in and grab something a little bit more easily. If you want to open this up like a suitcase, you will have to release the buckles. Those will get in the way and actually prevent the bag from opening all the way if they're secured on one of the sides. So I can release it here. and then the zipper goes all the way around to give you that wide opening so you can easily see everything that's on the inside. Again, at 28 liters of space, this does offer a good amount of capacity, especially with the simpler layout that the bag has. And so here I have my kind of typical EDC loadout. Jumping in at the top, I have my Beat Studio wireless headphones. Then I have GoRuck Shadow Pocket. Just because I had a little bit of extra space, I tossed in an extra pouch. And then I have my packable rain jacket. I have my Air Tech Kit. And then I also have the Evergood Civic Access pouch, 2 liters. And all of those fit in there very easily. It still felt like I had a little bit of leftover space. It wasn't overly packed out. And so just love the flexibility provided by these simpler layouts. You also have a pretty light lining to give you some visibility. It's not all blacked out or anything like that. So that has also been nice. And then with the amount of space that's offered here, could definitely use this for minimal travel. If I wanted to toss in a packing cube, a dop kit, an extra pair of shoes, I would easily be able to use this for a longer weekend trip. On the back of the compartment, you have a laptop sleeve, and I like that this is actually pulled up off the bottom of the ground. So if you happen to place your bag down a little bit harder, your device is going to be protected. And the sleeve itself offers a pretty good amount of padding. It's a little thicker than just a simple slip pocket, which I really like to see. You also have this Velcro strap to help secure the device. Now, one thing about this sleeve that I'm not crazy about is that it's not quick access to get to my laptop. So as you noticed, I had to take everything out to be able to see it. And with my bag loaded out, I suppose I could kind of move things out of the way, reach in and grab it. But with the height of this lip here, particularly if you have a taller or larger device, it could start to get a little tricky to get your laptop out. So very similar to what I noticed with 511's Rush 12 backpack, which had a good laptop sleeve. It just wasn't super easy to get the device out. So that might not be a huge deal. I'm glad that it's there versus not having one at all. I think this is better than what was included on the All Hazards pack. So that's nice here. And then this sleeve is also lined on the front with kind of a hook and loop backing, so you can attach pouches and patches to it. You also have a soft lining on the back, and then that helps provide just a little bit more protection for the device itself. Currently what I have here is a 14-inch MacBook Pro, but you can see there's a little bit of leftover space here at the top. So if you have a 16-inch laptop, it'll probably fit in there, but again, the taller the device is, the trickier it might be to actually get it out. So I'll go ahead and pull it out now. Now with the compartment empty, you can get a better look at the inside. It comes up a decent amount. It might be a little trickier for something super thick, or if you want to use a case with your laptop, it's definitely going to be fairly snug in there. And this area is also hydration bladder compatible. So there's a little pass through here at the top that will go through. So if you want to place a hydration bladder there and then thread the nozzle through, you will be able to do so. With the soft fabric, that could be a little bit interesting if it happens to spill or anything like that, but nice to see the versatility included there depending on how you want to use the bag. And then on the lid of this main area, you have some additional organization. So you have a couple of mesh zippered pockets, smaller one at the top. This is kind of my quick access area. I like that it has some volume, so it's able to handle something a little thicker, like my sunglasses case, which I had in there. There was still some leftover space. Below that, there is a taller mesh compartment here. And I like how deep and voluminous this is, so it is able to kind of separate out the items in my bag. If I want to use it for clothing, it could be almost like a packing cube. At the moment, I have some more pouches here. So I have the Evergood Civic Access pouch, 1 liter, and then my Alpaca admin pouch. And both of those fit in there comfortably. And then on the back, there is yet another zipper. Particularly if you're wanting to use this for travel, this is going to be great as kind of an additional clothing area. So this is where I might store a jacket or some additional shirts, things that I want to be able to just keep separate from the other items in the rest of my bag. Or I could have one side that's more for my EDC and tech and work stuff, one side that's dedicated to clothing. So pretty cool layout overall. Particularly given the size of the bag, this is the type of thing that I might be looking for to take on as a personal item / minimal travel bag size, particularly with this type of a layout. So, I really like what 511 was trying to do with this bag, that it has the laptop area, the built-in organization, and then the flexibility that's provided by the MOLLE webbing. So if you're looking for a durable, minimal travel bag that's gonna offer a pretty flexible layout and a lot of configurability, and you're also a fan of 511's sort of tactical vibe, then this is gonna be a really interesting option to take a look at. And so to wrap up, it's been a great experience testing out the 511 Daily Deploy Pack over the past couple of weeks. You can currently purchase this on the company's site for around $125, which to me feels like a pretty reasonable price considering the features and the build quality that it has to offer, and it's also going to compare well against some of the other similar bags in this price range. And so as I was testing this out, the first bag this made me think of is the 511 Rush 12, which is a really great EDC bag. Coming in at 24 liters, it's gonna be a little more compact than this one here, but it has the same sort of tactical vibe, so lots of webbing along the exterior, so you can customize it with pouches, you can clip on additional accessories. It's got a really nice organizational layout. It's got some more external organization maybe than this one here. And then a clamshell style opening. It's got built-in laptop compartment similar to this one here. It's got the sleeve on the inside. Not that easy to access, but still nice to have. Quick access pocket. It's got a pretty comfortable harness system. So all in all, very similar as far as a lot of the value that it provides to this one. But if you're looking for something that's a more traditional EDC bag versus kind of a hybrid like this one here, then that's gonna be a great option to take a look at. Another bag this made me think of is the Mystery Ranch Catalyst 26 pack, which I've talked about a bunch on the channel. It was one of my favorite EDC bags to come out over the past year. Really love the 26 liter capacity that it has. Very versatile for day-to-day, but enough space for minimal travel, much like this bag here. It's got a really comfortable harness system. It's got Mystery Ranch's tri-zip opening, which isn't for everybody. It's definitely a unique style of accessing your bag, but it is pretty versatile as far as allowing you to use the bag as a top loader and then getting full access to the lower areas of the bag. It's got dual external water bottle pockets, a dedicated laptop compartment. It's well padded. It's got a nice quick access pocket. And so, just checks off a lot of the boxes for the things that I'm typically looking for. And it's got a little bit of a functional vibe without feeling overly tactical. So it doesn't have all the webbing of this bag here. So if that's kind of what you're looking for, or just something spacious and useful in a variety of situations, then that's gonna be an excellent option to consider. And then the last option that I'll mention here is the Patagonia Mini MLC, which is one of my favorite minimal travel bags of all time. I absolutely love the layout of that bag. At 30 liters, it's gonna have maybe slightly more space than this, but it's a pretty similar form factor. It doesn't feel that big. I've used it as a personal item on many flights. It's got a pretty comfortable harness system. You can convert it into a shoulder bag with the included waist belt that it has, which I always thought was a really clever solution. It's got an external water bottle pocket, dedicated laptop area, and just a pretty simple but useful organizational layout. And the bag just, it matches many of the needs that I typically have. I have used it as an EDC bag. Again, for minimal travel, it works great. It's got a pretty weather resistant and durable exterior. And so if you're looking for something like this, that's, just gonna give you maybe a little bit more flexibility, and that's gonna be a fantastic option to keep in mind. With that being said, the Daily Deploy Pack holds up pretty well against all those options, and if you're looking for a durable and spacious kind of all-purpose bag with a useful layout, and that's also going to come in at a pretty reasonable price point, and this is going to be a great option to take a look at. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you all think of the Daily Deploy Pack and how it compares to some of the other popular EDC and minimal travel bags that are currently on the market. And if there's any similar options that you think that I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank the company for sending the bag for me to test out, and to you guys for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.